Let's begin the show today with some good news as Nigerian documentary filmmaker Kachi Benson becomes the first Nigerian to win the Shining Emmy Trophy for Outstanding Art and Culture Documentary for his Disney title Madu. The documentary, co-directed alongside American filmmaker Matt Against, tells the inspiring story of Anthony Madu, a young Nigerian ballet dancer who gained global attention in 2020 at just 11 years old after 44 seconds of him dancing in the rain was posted online and garnered over 16 million views. The Emmy-winning entry competed against strong contenders including As We Speak, Rap Music on Trial, Butterfly in the Sky, Hollywood Black, and King Cole.
This is a great honor. Thanks to Disney and the entire team at Hunting Lane. This win is for Nigeria, really. Thank you. And would like to dedicate this to Anthony Madu and every kid out there who has a dream. The world is watching and waiting to hear your story. Thank you.
Kachi Benson, who has also won the prestigious Venice Lion at the 2019 Venice Film Festival, now joins us on the program from New York. Many thanks for joining us and a big congratulations to you. Yet again, you have made the Nigerian filming community proud. What emotions were you feeling right there on stage taking that award?
I think it wasn't something that I was expecting, because when they mentioned like all the names of all the different whatchamacallit now nominees, yeah, it was like really shocking. But like I said when I was up there, anytime these things happen, I always see it as a win, not just for myself personally, but for the documentary, especially the documentary filmmaking community in Nigeria, and for us out there. Like, it's like, our stories matter, and we can put our stories on the biggest platforms, on the biggest stages, and we can hold our own. And so I hope that this wins like this, and opportunities like this inspire someone out there to say, you know what, if Kachi can do it, then I can do it. I want to go out there and I want to tell the stories that matter. Yeah.
And that speech dedicated to Madu and other young dreamers, telling them the world is waiting to hear their stories, truly captures the moment, and of course your own story, seeing how you have risen through the ranks and global filming community, from winning the Venice Lion to the Emmys right now. It kind of reflects your journey as well, doesn't it?
I mean, I think the big message behind all of this is just, go out there and pursue your dreams. I remember years ago when I said I wanted to make documentaries, and I told my friends, and yeah, everyone thought I was half crazy, because they're like, what does that even mean? What's the model behind that? And I really couldn't answer the question, but I just felt like it was something that I love doing. I love unscripted TV. I love nonfiction. I love these real stories, and I felt happy doing them. So I was like, look, man, I'm just happy doing this, so I'm going to do it. And fast forward years later, we're telling the kind of stories that we want to tell, how we want to tell them, and putting them on these, platforms. It's great. And so it's really, at the end of the day, Anthony's story is sort of like my own story. I see myself in him in terms of like, pursuing a dream that is seemingly unachievable, but you put your heart to it, and let time and chance and all of that take care of the rest.
It's quite inspiring to hear you share some of the uncertainties that you had to deal with at the early stages of your career, and that also reflects the many challenges within the docu filmmaking industry in Nigeria. Now, with your recent global exposure, how do you suppose the docu film genre can be catalyzed in the country?
Right. Um, I, I think that there are quite a few challenges. I think the biggest challenge for doc filmmakers in Nigeria we just be like just access to support and funding to tell the kind of stories that we want to tell. Um, it's interesting because I've been having several conversations, even with like Uncle Femi Odubemi of IREP, and we just like for me right now is like how do we sort of how can we change the dynamics, right? How can we what conversations and actions can we take to support documentary filmmakers back home? That's something that I'm really committed to doing right now. I'm very interested in doing that, whether it's in the form of training, in the form of like figuring out ways where young documentary filmmakers can have access to funds, no matter how little, just to help them, pursue their dreams, right? Every docu doesn't have to be you know, mm, a high end or high budget production. Some of these guys are just looking for like just a little bit of support to do what they want to do. And so that's something that I'm really committed to. I don't know how we're going to make it happen, but I feel like just having that desire to even want to see it come to pass is a start. And so we'll keep having these conversations, we'll keep having these meetings, exploring opportunities together with other documentary filmmakers in Nigeria, especially my Egbons, and just to see what can be done. This shouldn't revolve around only a certain group of people who have some kind of access. I think that, the more people, the more documentary filmmakers that are able to make films the way they want to make them, the better for the space, the better for the ecosystem, and the better for Nigeria, really, because, who knows what the next guy is going to do to put us on the map. So yeah, if there's something else that I'm committed to doing going forward, is figuring out ways through which we can inspire the next generation of doc filmmakers.
Well, that pretty much sums it up. Congratulations again. But just before I let you go, I understand that your other documentary, Mothers of Chibok, which is a sequel to the Venice Lion winning Daughters of Chibok, also won an award over the weekend. Tell us about that too, very quickly.
Oh, Mothers of Chibok just won an award over the weekend on Sunday at the Encounters South Africa International Film Festival. So it won best feature documentary, so the Al Jazeera Prize, which is great. It's a validation of the work that we're doing. And it does go a long way in amplifying the voices of the women that were featured in the film. So we're extremely grateful for that. I think it's been an amazing weekend, an Emmy and a Continental Prize. That's great.
It's definitely raining awards right now for you, and it of course speaks to the quality of work that you are doing in that space. Congratulations again, and many thanks for joining us.
Thank you, sir. Have a nice day.